Welcome to the channel. My name is Mike, and this goes out to all my light bearers. Well, from now on, I'm gonna be discerning and decoding the Bible for people who truly seek understanding. Again, this is not for me. It's from the universe. All this knowledge I cannot take credit for. I am just in tune with the universe. And when you're in tune with nature and the universe, all things will be revealed. So I'm gonna uncover a lot of Bible myths because people don't understand what they read. And the reason why you don't understand what you read is because you don't understand language. And when you get into language, you have to get into etymology. Etymology. E-T-O-M-O-L-O-G-Y. Etymology. It is the breaking down of a word. It's the egg of a word. So when you take words like black and apply it to yourself, not understanding the definition of the word black, you put yourself in a ballpark that you really don't want to be in. So if you go and look at the word black in the etymology dictionary, you'll understand that they have an A with an italics above it. And that means it's an adjective. So basically, if you call yourself black, you're calling yourself an adjective, something that describes something else, something that describes a noun. So if you say my tire was black, my shirt was black, these are things that you possess. So black is like a possession. It's not who you are. Black is not even a nationality. So to label yourself black, these people who manipulated the Constitution and instituted what is called maritime law, they get you under what's called the black codes of law. And how it relates to the Bible is if you don't understand the words you're reading, you can't get proper comprehension or what they was really trying to convey when they were saying things. So when you go to the Bible and it's in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth, and then he formed man, Adam and Eve. And Eve bore two sons, Cain and Abel. And then Cain killed his brother. And then he goes to a village and finds a wife. That's totally inconclusive. You're not giving me the full story. Okay, tell me, where did Cain's wife come from? If Adam and Eve was the first two people on the earth. But then when you ask these scholars and these preachers, they want to give you some made up shit that's not even in the book. So where did Cain's wife come from? If mom and daddy was the first two here, and then they'll tell you something about, well, Adam and Eve had more children. Well, then that means that they was incestual. They was having sex with brothers and sisters. That would explain being born into the world cursed, born into sin. If you were born from your brother or sister, shit, that's the same family tree. Breaking it down further, well, let me start from the beginning. Because see, all of this is made up. Adam was not a physical person. So the whole story in the Genesis is not even about nothing physical. Adam basically was ATOM, not ADAM. Eve was actually evolution. So when you're reading it, it goes from Adam and Eve to atoms and atoms evolving, basically. Genesis can be broken down to the genes of Isis, so it had nothing to do with nobody physical. This was talking about creation itself. But the people, the authors of the Bible, they wrote it with the intent to manipulate and deceive. And how you find stuff out like that? Well, first of all, they'll tell you that Moses wrote the first 5 books of the Bible called the Torah or the Pentateuch. People want to argue that point. It's the Pentateuch. It wasn't the Torah. Regardless, he wrote the first 5 books. That's what that was acclaimed to Moses. So you mean to tell me he wrote before he was born and after he died? Because Genesis, from Adam, Eve, and Samuel and other people before Moses, was talked about. And then Moses came, and then Moses left, and then he continued on writing about Joshua and some more books. So I'm one of the ones that questioned everything. My very name that was given to me means to question everything. Michael is a rhetorical question. Who is like God? So I was born to question every single thing on this planet. Every single authority figure, every structure, every system. I question it. I question God. I question the Bible. I question everything. Because once you discover that you've been lied to, it's impossible to go back believing in the very people that taught you. You start questioning them. You know, I was taught at a young age, hey, you're not supposed to ask questions. Why not? How in the hell am I going to find out the answer to stuff if I don't ask questions? So you have this whole Garden of Eden, and people don't have no understanding or no clue of what they're reading. Because like I say, they don't understand etymology. So going back into the word black, for an example, if you label yourself black or a black person, you're considering yourself a non-entity. And the courts will put you in the black codes of law. You have 2 laws that's occupying this so-called nation. You have the Constitution, which has been destroyed a long time ago. We're never under a constitution past September 11th. The Constitution went bye-bye. Once they declared a national emergency and brought in Homeland and all these other FEMA and all these folks, it was a wrap. They started targeting natural born citizens, people that was born here. First of all, we were sold a long time ago. Like back in 33, they had the Great Depression. The government went totally bankrupt. They brought in the Federal Reserve. Federal Reserve brought in their own promissory notes, backed by nothing. They print money out of thin air. So basically, when you boil it all up into a nutshell, and this is stuff that we learned in 3rd grade. A lot of people wasn't listening, but when my teacher started teaching us about the straw man and your birth certificate, it didn't register until later on in life what they were saying. But now I fully understand how maritime works. So basically, when you're born, and I know I'm jumping from different subjects, but all of them are relatable. Everything is connected to everything. And I'm speaking only to the people that's chosen to hear this. So if this go above your head, you can leave. You can scroll, do whatever you want to do. So this is not for you. So yeah, like I said, it was two different laws going around. You have the Constitution, law of the land, and then you have what is called maritime admiralty laws. These are the laws of the water. And how they work and how they apply is like when back in the days when ships and boats was trying to dock on land into customs, they had to have what is called a certificate. So when you do the etymology of certificate, you find out that it's proof of ownership. So in order for you to dock on land, you had to have a certificate, which goes back to 1933 when the country went bankrupt. They started giving us birth certificates. A birth certificate is not who you are, is proof of who you are. But it's proof for them because it becomes your straw man. On paper, that means you're dead. In order for a corporation to make money off you, you have to be declared dead. So a birth certificate proves that you were owned and you're dead, basically. Certificate of birth is formed 3 days after you're born. But during your birth, you have what is a live birth. That's not your birth certificate. It's actual proof that you're alive. Your birth certificate becomes your straw man. And if you look on it, you'll notice that all the letters on it is capitalized. So when you see your name in all caps, that means you're owned. Then you say owned by who? Well, who owns everything? The monetary system. The banking system. Which is the beast system. And a lot of people, they walk around with this theory that the beast or the Antichrist is a man. Once again, the Bible is not a literal thing to translate. The beast is literally the system that runs the world, which is money. They tell you in the Bible that for the love of money is the root of all evil. And just think about it. Every death on this planet usually is involved with some money. Some way, form, or fashion. What is money? Money is cotton and trees. And printed on there is a graven image. And the Bible speaks heavily about graven images. The image on this bill is from the grave. It's a dead man, a dead slave owner. If you read Deuteronomy chapter 5 verse 7, it'll tell you to burn graven images with fire. It's either chapter 5 verse 7 or 7 verse 5. It's one of them. But we're to burn graven images with fire. You don't give that to God. God don't need your money. He created the trees that makes the money. So you can't buy your way into heaven. Some bullshit. You can go spend all the money with your preacher all you want to. But if you're not living according to how the book tell you to live, you're doing it all in vain. Because he said, he that lends to the poor lends to God. What you do to the least, you're doing unto me. That's what they said. That's what the book said. But a lot of people, they don't read. They just mimic and go off of what they were told. For example, this is the biggest con they use in church about money. Every preacher goes to the same chapter and verse. They go to Malachi 3:8. Will a man rob God? Yet you have robbed me in tithes and in offerings. Do you know a tithe is not money? Back before they made money, there still was a tithe. The Bible said Cain offered his animals as sacrifice. Abel offered his first fruits. But God didn't honor Cain's because he didn't give his first fruits. He gave him what he wanted to have. The first fruits belong to God. Your firstborn child belongs to God. This is the person that he makes the strongest, the backbone of the family, the one that has to endure all the hardships so the rest of them can have an example. A measuring stick. What to do and what not to do, basically. So, getting back to etymology, because I know I be going down different rabbit holes. It's the study of words. So, when you don't know what you're reading, it's hard to get full clarity of what you're reading. Then you go and sit in front of some preacher that's told to go by a certain curriculum or a certain way to teach in order to mislead and control. Because people got to understand, religion is the biggest form of control that they got out here. The slaves was given a Bible once it was found out that they was learning to read. They gave them a Bible. Just like when you go to prison or jail, they give you a Bible. Not a Quran, a Bible. Because in the Bible you have things like obey your masters, turn the other cheek. There are certain scriptures that they added into the book. And it's a lot of stuff that they took out. And I was having this argument with, I talked to ChatGPT sometime, and I was having this argument concerning that, you know. But that's neither here nor there. Getting back into etymology and words. Certain words that you use today can be used against you. Like saying the word black. It be used against you in court. Because once you consider yourself black, you're a non-entity. And now you fall up under maritime law. Breaking down maritime law again, it goes back into the birth certificate, being on the water. So to break it down like this, when your mom goes to the hospital to give birth, and even the word birth, if you spell it the correct way, because there's two different ways to spell damn near every word. But you have birth with this B-I-R-T-H, and then you have birth, B-E-R-T-H, which has to do with shipping and docking. So when your mom goes to the hospital, she is labeled as the vessel or the ship. She's about to deliver a product, which is you. And when you come out, you get a certificate, just like being on the waters and the boat docks. Your mom has to go to the doc so she can give birth, so you can have a certificate, which is proof of ownership. So basically, how it goes, after the Great Depression, country going bankrupt, the citizens of this country were sold. We were sold on the stock market. Your birth certificate is stock. And all this stuff that I speak of, you don't have to take my word for face value. Matter of fact, I don't want you to believe nothing I say. Anything I say and it resonates to you, go research it. The information is out here. You have Google, you have ChatGPT. Ignorance is no longer an excuse. You know, but even though you have all these tools, it's not going to tell you what to look for. You have to want to find out for yourself. You can choose to remain in darkness, but it's no excuse anymore. The information age was from 2000 to 2010. All the information you need in this lifetime has been given out. Anything that I say can be Googled and verified. It's documented. So getting back to maritime law, once your mother got this certificate of your birth, it was 3 days later, she went to go pick up this birth certificate and your straw man became alive. This is the corporate you. This is the you with all caps. And when your name is in all caps, it is represented by a word called capitis diminutia maxima. Capitis diminutia maxima is a total loss of your rights. You're basically property. So when they tell you slavery never ended, they lied. We still are considered as property. This is why when black people invent things, or dark-skinned or melanated people invent things, it is taken away because you are considered property. There's no such thing as freedom. We ain't never left the plantation. They just got smarter in how they was gonna run it. You still have house and field niggas today. You still have Uncle Toms, and the ones that's Uncle Toms be calling everybody else Uncle Toms. Don't know they the biggest Toms they out here. Working 9 to 5 until you retire for someone else is the very definition of insanity. Doing something over and over and over and over again, expecting different results. You are insane. Now, if you're working to establish yourself, to start your own business, that's something totally different. But if you get up and go punch somebody's clock and dress and do what they tell you to do 8-9 hours a day, 20-30 years of your life, you are insane. And I refuse to live that way. When I get up, I ask the universe to provide. I ask the universe to bless me. My hands, what I speak, is how I eat and survive. I can go out here and pick up a lawnmower. I can go out here and cut somebody's grass. I can go out here and paint somebody's house. I can do landscaping. I made it a point to learn everything I could before I became my own boss. When I worked on these jobs, I learned what they taught me, and then I applied it into my own life to make it work for myself. I am here to break a curse. And when you're a curse breaker, you have to go against the norm. You can't do what society tell you to do. You have to go against the grain. Your life will be difficult. It will be tumultuous. It will be hard. It will be full of lonely days, lonely nights, nobody to talk to. It'll drive the average person crazy. But somebody got to do it. So getting back to etymology, the study of words. English language is the biggest spellcaster language there is. It is a mixture of Latin, Spanish, and a little French. It's a combination of different languages combined. And in it are spells, literal spells that you cast. When people say good morning, it's like back in the days when the slaves used to get beat on and they used to cry all night, and the slave master would come in the room and he'd say, "Did you have a good morning?" It was sarcasm. But everything that we learned in slavery, we turned it around and tried to make it a delicacy. For Thanksgiving, they gave us the scraps on the table. They gave us the chitlins, the actual pig intestine. And nowadays, people eat shit twice a year, Thanksgiving and Christmas. So all these people running around laughing at folks and talking about he eat ass and she eat ass. If you eat chitlins, you eat ass. Shitty breath motherfucker. It's just the bottom line, it's the truth. But we are so programmed to the point where we follow tradition, we follow all these man-made holidays. We don't question why we observe them, we just participate in them. And basically, John D. Rockefeller is the one that funded the school systems. He funded it with this in mind. He said that he wanted a nation of workers, not thinkers. The whole school system was designed to teach you how to comply, obey, follow rules, and get a job. And that's cool if you can't think for yourself. Everybody is not meant to be self-governed. It takes discipline. But when you one of them ones that know right from wrong, it's hard to accept anything from people who don't even follow what they say. That's why I choose my own path. I don't play by rules. I wasn't born with rules and stipulations on my head. Everything that I needed in this lifetime, I was born with. You have a whole universe inside of you. Damn near every element on the periodic chart is in your body. The fact that you are 75% water, just like the earth is, and the rest of you is land, should tell you something. The fact that you have gases, the fact that your body has 13 major systems running at the same time and you don't even control them, ought to tell you that you're more than human. The fact that you can close your eyes and see your future, your past. You can see everything with your eyes closed. But they teach you sight comes from your eyes. They tell you hearing comes from your ears. But I can hear the voice in my head telling me, no, don't do that. Don't say that. Don't go there. I clearly can hear without ears. So I'm more than a human being. I'm a being in a human. My body is basically a vessel. That's why I don't do live showing my face, because that is not who I am. This is my container. My body is basically a shell. Who I am is what's coming out of me. Who I am is the words that I'm speaking. But school don't teach you that. They teach you how to memorize things. They teach you how to pledge allegiance to a flag. To a flag. Not to God. You're not pledging allegiance to God. It's under God. But you're pledging allegiance to a flag. And for melanated people, it's like a big slap in the face, because you want me to pledge allegiance to the same flag that murdered my ancestors, hung them from trees, whipped them with chains, destroyed their language, just took everything, and still taking to this day. We've built this country, and yet and still more of us are turning homeless every single day. I walk these streets and I see kids out here, 12, 13 years old. Babies out here with nowhere to stay. In the richest goddamn country in the world. So they say. And you got people that's walking around here with no homes. And then you got other people that sit here and want to laugh at that. I had a gun pull on me the other day, and this dude tell me, ha, you homeless. Okay, motherfucker, if you know that, why is you fucking with me? Because we've been taught to step down and step on people that we feel that we better than. But life is funny, because the same people you kick, you gonna see them. You gonna see them again. And the universe got a way where you gonna need them. And it's on their discretion whether they help you or not. Because you once laughed at their face. You laughed at their pain. Everything on this planet is temporary. I done seen people become millionaires and lose it all. And nobody is safe from that. Big corporations like Enron fail. Rome fail. So just because you standing tall today, it ain't gonna last forever. That's why you need to be mindful of how you treat people. Because you don't know who you entertaining. You don't know who you laughing at. You don't know why that person is going through what they're going through. I lost every single thing I ever possessed and owned. Even my child has been taken away from me. But do I complain? No. Do I go out here and beg and that? No. I know everything happened for a reason. And just like Job in the Bible was tested, this is the prophet's test. This is the wilderness. The wilderness is here to purify you, make you stronger. It wasn't meant to break you. Well, not me. This was my test. I'm not out here because I'm lazy. I'm not out here because I'm on drugs. I'm out here because I'm being tested. I'm out here to see who you are. Because how you treat people, be ready for it to come back. I got everything taken away from me but my health. When people was walking around here sick with COVID, I was fine. I didn't get no tests. I didn't get no shots. I didn't get no cold, no sickness, none of that. And I've been outdoors. I'm a survivor. So you can't sit here and judge people talking about what they ain't got and you better than them. Because you can be in that same position. And you will be talking about it because the universe is going to show you exactly how they got in that position. Since you want to laugh and think everything is funny. Everything can be taken away from you overnight. That's why you should be thankful for what you have. And if it's in your power to help somebody, do it. Because you're helping God, according to the Bible. You don't get blessings by blessing people that's already rich. And we as black, we got it bad. Like, we'll support people that can't stand our ass. Just not to give it to another nigga. Prime example, I have lighters I sell sometimes. I get them bulk wholesale. People actually walk past me and go to the store and spend $1 giving it to the store man because they've been trained not to help a nigga. I'd rather get it from the store, knowing he just called the police on my ass last week, knowing he could accuse me of stealing out of here. But I'm still going to support him because it's a program. That Willie Lynch divide and conquer is what fucked us all. It's the reason why we kill each other. So when they go hollering about black on black crime, let's get to the root of it. Started with that letter. Separate the light skin from the dark skin. Treat one better than the other. And now we always in constant competition. It's a program embedded. That's why slavery still goes on, because we're still following up on its principles. We automatically hate anything that look like us because we was taught to hate ourselves. That's why you got all these black women walking around here with the blonde hair and the, oh my God, they just want to be white so bad. And then got a nerve to walk around and say they want a real man. How you gonna track something that you not? 90% of you made up. Your hair ain't real. Your eyelashes ain't real. You got on makeup. Your nails ain't real. But yet and still you want a real man. You deserve everything you get. Because you hate yourself. Ain't nothing wrong with a natural, beautiful black woman. Be who you are. That's what's wrong with the world. Everybody pretending. Trying to fake it to make it. That shit don't work. You don't do nothing but lose more and more of yourself. That's why you run around miserable and hate your own damn self. Spend time looking in the mirror and appreciating what you have. Because even that can be taken away. So easy to take the simple things in life for granted. The fact that you have warm water and a house to lay your head in should be a reason to be thankful. The fact that you're not outdoors. The fact that you're not in jail. The fact that you still breathing. So what, you ain't got this and you ain't got that. All that stuff can be added at any given moment. But what can't be replaced is my eyesight. I lose my eyes, I don't know what to do. So I'm thankful for the eyes I do have. I'm thankful for my hands and my legs and my feet and my heart, my lungs. There's plenty of things to be thankful for. But people feel like they're not blessed because they don't have the car or they don't have the house or all these possessions. And then you got to work like hell to keep the shit going. And if you miss any payment, they threaten to take it away. So it never truly was yours from the beginning. I tell people all the time, you don't own shit on this planet. The only thing you own and control is your thoughts and your emotions. Nothing else. You don't own people. You don't own things. Nothing is truly yours. Because one day you gonna die. And you can't take it with you. So what do you really own? Banks forecloses on houses once people die and their family members can't keep it up because they weren't disciplined enough. People always talking about what they gonna leave their family. No, leave them some real shit. Leave them some knowledge. Leave them some discipline. You give them a house, hell, they ain't even taking care of the one they got already. They behind in bills in the one they got. It's not a blessing to get a new house if you ain't even keeping up with the one you got. I used to listen to my mama pray on her knees every night for a new house, new car, new this, new that. And I'm looking around and I'm like, you're not even taking care of what you got. Bills all behind, lights and shit getting cut off in the middle of winter. She want a new house. People just don't appreciate things and always want more and wonder why they don't never get it. You got to start appreciating what you do have first. And stop worrying about the next man. Because you don't know what he got to do to keep that shit going. You don't know how many lies he got to tell. Or who he got to kill or rob to get that shit. So I don't care about what the next man got. I don't get jealous and envious about what somebody got. I feel pity for him. Because you just don't know the hoops and shit you got to go through to keep that shit going. I value my time on the earth because it's short. So I want to spend much of time learning all I can, because that's the only thing I believe you take in the afterlife is your experiences. So I try to gain all my wealth through experience. Buy no dollar bill, some shit that can be burnt up. Shit fly out my pocket every day. I lose money every day some kind of way. Money flies out my pocket. I spend it on shit I need. It comes, it goes. But people tend to place value on things. They don't put value on people. They put it on things. what I got. And it loses value the instant you buy it. People don't chase money, they chase price tags. They chase debt. Let me accumulate all this shit here so I can be in debt. Let me go work for somebody until I retire. They just push the retirement age back further. It's all a scam. You feed the system and it give you crumbs back. And if you're okay with living your life like that, fine. I'm not here to stop you. I'm not here to change your mind. Like I said, this is only going out to the people that have ears to hear and eyes to see. When Christ spoke in parables, he spoke to the multitude in parables. Then he went back to his disciples and broke it down in plain English. And told them about the parable of the man that sowed seeds, and some fell on good ground and it produced, and the ones that fell by the thorn and by the wayside, it got choked and strangled. So everybody not meant to receive it, because everybody's heart not in the right place. If your heart is not fertile, if your mind is not open, then it's just falling on deaf ears. You're casting pearl among swine. It's just no good. And yeah, the world has been clove up under a veil. They use one lie to cover another lie, to keep covering up lies. And once you start lying, it turns into a snowball. And these folks done figured out, the bigger the lie, the more believable. And they use their media outlets to amplify the lie on a television. And even though people know it's a lie, they still get up and regurgitate the information they done heard off the tube as if it was the gospel. Speaking the word gospel, go spell. Go spell. Etymology again. Like, certain words, like, you can use the word sell several times. Sell, cell phone. Sell, sailboat. Sell, making a sale. Because the English language is spell casting. When you say words like parents, it's a pair who rents. You're not owned by your parents. Once moms take you to the doctor, sign that birth certificate, you're owned by the state. She lost her rights at birth. That's why she signed the birth certificate under the guise of an informant. Don't believe me? Go look at your own birth certificate. She was an informant. She wasn't called a parent. She was an informant. She informed the state that a new child or a new threat or another product has just hit the market. We are owned. Never left no plantation. All he did was remove the chains from around our neck. We still in this backyard, which is technically our own house, But they lied so much talking about Christopher Columbus came here and he noticed Indians. Bitch, this ain't India. So how could you notice India in the... We are the indigenous people. We are the Indians. We are the Hebrews. We are the chosen ones. It's proven even in the Bible. You turn the book to Genesis chapter 13 verse 15. No, chapter 15 verse 13. My bad. He said, and he was talking to Abraham. He said, Abram, know of a surety, your seed shall be in a land that is not theirs, and they shall be persecuted and afflicted for 400 years. That was a little over 600 years ago. But back then, when they wrote it, it was 400 years. The prophecy. So we are the seeds of Abraham. According to the book, no other race has experienced what we've experienced. The Jews and their Holocaust was only for 10 years. That ain't shit compared to 400 years of oppression, wealth building, just overall destruction of a human being. I could just imagine if the kids only knew what we went through to get here. We've been eaten, raped, abused, tied to horses, stretched so far apart. I'm talking about these people were just fucking evil. And then they got the nerve to have these damn people on these podcasts going around saying that black people are the most violent. When I heard this white girl say that on this podcast, I wanted to jump through the screen. We are the biggest. They said we are the most violent race. We only violent to each other. We didn't do Pearl Harbor, bitch. We didn't do 9/11. We didn't do the Boston Massacre. We didn't do the Louisiana Purchase. We didn't do the Tuskegee experiment. We got experimented on. We didn't flood people out of a city. We didn't go to no church and bomb it. So when you sit here and make a vague statement like we are the most crime infested community or the most violent people, I like to question where you got that information from. And have you been looking around in the world? Or have you just been regurgitating information that was fed to you? Because we don't attack nobody but each other. And that was through the propaganda of Willie Lynch. And even Jesus himself said a house divided against itself cannot stand. We have been divided and conquered. Our women has sold us out. It started during affirmative action when they started allowing them to get jobs and positions that men have. Then they started thinking like men because they started getting educated by men. And the same system that's capitalizing on them now, that's telling them that you got to reapply for food stamps, encouraged you to get food stamps at one time. told you that if you gave me this guy's information that got you pregnant, we'll house you and we'll take care of your baby. And now she had the mentality that the white man is the daddy, because she sold out. She got her welfare check. She got her TANF. She got her child support. She got her $2 a month rent for what, 7-8 years, and still didn't cap off of it, and still broke. All this shit that the system gave them, they still didn't cap off of it. So all it did was divide the household. Now instead of the white man and all these other folks raping you, you're giving it to them willingly. And that's your choice. You can. But just know that most of y'all was the ones that sold us out. Y'all became the men's and the breadwinners in the house. You weren't designed to raise no man. It takes a village to raise a child. So what the hell are single parents supposed to do? Back in the days when I was growing up, the neighborhood was a real neighborhood. Everybody knew everybody. You walk down the street, Susie Senior, Auntie Lucy Senior, she told your mama you weren't in line, and she probably whooped your ass. And before you left the community, everybody knew where you was going. Nowadays, everything's so divided, you don't even know your neighbors. Neighbors don't even speak to each other. You probably don't even know what they look like, because everybody been divided. Back in the days, we used to play outside till the street lights came on. These kids now just want to sit in the house and play computers and interact with Facebook and all these social media platforms like that's real life. That ain't real life. People only gonna take pictures and images of things that they want you to see. That's not how they live every day. But people look on the social media, oh, they was in New York, they were balling out. Oh my God, why my life is so... You can't judge your life off what somebody else do, because a lot of that shit be fake. Yeah, it's just so many things to uncover. I don't know where to start. I'm just going with the flow. When I get better at going live, I'm going to start organizing my conversations where I have direct topics to talk about. But right now, I'm just going with what my spirit say. Till the next time I have a thought, peace out.